January 21st, 2013, and this is Getting Fit with the Facks, and I'm Eddie Facks, and this video today is entitled Back in the Saddle. And New Year started, and basically I'm taking this time to get back into the saddle because over the course of Christmas and whatnot, since I made my last video, you could say in some respects I've fallen off the horse with regards to progress. Right before Thanksgiving, but after the last video I made, I got my weight down to 259. And then came Thanksgiving, put a few pounds on, kept fighting back and forth through the 260s, and then got down a little bit again, and then came Christmas and New Year, bang bang, on holiday back in Pennsylvania, working, just talking to friends and hanging out, eating a lot of pie apparently, and basically got all the way back up to 271 pounds by the time it was, I got back to Illinois. So here's one thing I know. If you put weight on fast, the time to address that and take it off is right away. If you put it on fast, you gotta take it off fast. So basically I've been hitting it the last 2 weeks, hitting the gym, keeping my diet right, tracking everything that goes into my mouth, and it's been pretty successful. And I've tracked things and I've seen where I want them to go. I know what I'm doing, even though I don't sometimes always do what I want to do. And in many respects it's like having a roadmap, or just like a general map. And the cool thing about maps, I don't know about you, I love maps, but I just all the intricacies, and because they're very real, and what is in there is what really exists. And the cool thing about maps is you know what's on that map because someone else has already been there, someone else has mapped it out and taken notes and charted it all down, and now you benefit from their information. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do with this channel again. Just getting back into the groove of it with a new year starting. Making my challenge to myself this year is to make myself the fittest I've ever been. And a lot of stuff needs to go into that. And with regards to thinking about the map and what a map does for you, I started thinking the other day about the fact of like what happened over Christmas. My weight, went back up, and then did a little, little jog and shuffle, and now, it's on its way back down again. And seeing the 260s again can get a bit discouraging. And I think this is the importance in taking the time to set goals and to track where it is you really, really want to go, and along the way set benchmarks and note down where you've been. If you don't set those things out, it's difficult to know exactly how far you've come. Now, in retrospect, you can say, well, I know I weighed 392 pounds back then, but the thing is, when you're right here, right now, it's really easy to forget that you came from that place. You focus on the fact that, well, here I am at 258 and I'm still fat, I'm still technically obese by the definite standard, and I feel better, but when I look at myself in the mirror, I still see that there's a lot here that's got to get gone. Things have gotten smaller, but there's still a lot to go. And the danger is that you only see your recent successes. You're literally forgetting about what you've accomplished in your distant past. And there was a gentleman from Spain quite a few years ago. His name was George Santayana, and he made a statement that was very, very famous, or became famous, and that was, those who cannot remember the past are doomed and condemned to repeat it. So if you don't remember what it is you did, if you don't remember where you've been, what you've achieved, and what you've accomplished, or if you don't remember the mistakes you made, you are doomed to repeat those things again. You're back to go those places. If you can't remember what you achieved in weight loss, you can easily return to the place that you once were, where your weight was what you didn't want it to be. So right now, here I am, I'm sitting today, currently sitting at 260 pounds. It's January 21st, 2013. And as I said before, you know, in my mind, I was lamenting, like, oh, you know, this is like the third time I've been through the 260s. And it's really easy to forget that at some point in time, not too distant past, I was 392 pounds. It's easy at that point to forget that I lost the 160 ounces that were in the 380s. It's easy to forget that I lost the 10 pounds that were in the 370s, or the 7 kilos that make up the 260s and the 250s together. It's easy to forget that I counted calories, sweated, went to the gym, worked out, lifted, pushed things, for me to lose the 5.7 stones that for me made up the 340s, the 330s, the 320s, the 310s, the 300s, the 290s, the 280s, and the 270s. I did all that work. It's all gone, and I'm not going to let it come back, because I'm not going to forget what was in there, what was involved. You know, if I had never taken stock of what I had done, it would be easy to let myself go back up there and bloat and go back up again. So I also think it's all too often we allow ourselves to lose perspective on what we've achieved. We allow ourselves to focus on our worst and compare that against someone else's best. And I was talking to someone else on Facebook the other day, and they were commenting on this or that, and how some people can be really quite cruel and, you know, putting someone down, but they have no idea where that person came from. So it's easy for someone to look at me now and, you know, basically, you know, call me fat at 260 pounds, and I am. But unless they saw me at 392, they don't realize. And that's not their problem, but it also means that to a certain point, I don't really have as much credibility with those people until they find out what I have done, as I have with people who already know what has already gone in the past. And it's important that when you do something, when you achieve that and you can lose that weight, that you actually focus on what you've actually accomplished. Yeah, you know, there's still fat on my arms, but here's the funny thing: not even 2 months ago, I was really stressing about what was going to happen with like the extra space down there. But the thing is, now there's actually, you know, tone and definition starting to come in. You know, depending how I flex my arms from working out, I can feel the bone is right there, and you know, arms are getting stronger, arms are getting smaller and bigger at the same time. The muscles are pushing out as they're growing from lifting, and the layers of fat are either diminishing or disappearing in other places. So it's important that I not forget where I've gone, where I've been, and that this time around, as with every time, you just got to get back on that horse, get back in the saddle again, because it is important for your success. Now, as I wrap this video up, just want to remind you guys a couple of things. Please check me out on Facebook. That's looking under Gettin Fit with the Facks. You can also subscribe to me on Twitter. Just Get Fit with Facks. And a couple changes I'm going to be incorporating into the videos here. Basically, I'm going to be reposting all the videos in two formats. One just for mobile devices, cell phones and whatnot, and another, a fuller, more expanded version with all the bells and whistles of my full vision. for that video. I'm also going to be putting in some food tips and techniques, which is why I'm in the kitchen here today. Next couple of videos are probably going to be shot in here so I can show you guys things. I've had people ask me questions, things like, well, how do you separate egg whites? You know, you keep saying that egg whites are so much better for me than eating the whole egg, and they are, but I don't have one of those little thingies. So if I don't have that little thingy that separates the egg whites, what do? Well, we're going to talk about that in one of the upcoming videos. We're going to put a little bit of something of everything in each video, so that there's something for you practical, something mindset-wise, and also just regular updates. So again, down to 260 pounds. It is January 22nd now. I just hit midnight. And I'm Eddie Facks. This is Getting Fit with the Facks. And remember, the only way you lose if you stop getting back on the horse. So you just keep getting back on, keep working, and keep fighting, and you will always win.